timestamp is August 14th, 2026, about 6 a.m. Pix and I got into a big discussion yesterday. Not like a fight. When I say a discussion, it's not like a fight. We were joking about talking to her mom and the idea that I can kind of do no wrong and her mom does. It's weird. The idea of I'm special. A lot of it kind of rolls down to the idea that my mother-in-law not a great picker when it comes to men. And that's nice and full. Good problem to have. My mother-in-law has said on countless occasions that the circumstances involving my folks and the shenanigans, she would have put her foot down, walked away, not been okay with it. She would have laid down the law. And the idea that Pix and I are making it all work and coordinating and working as a team is slightly foreign to her because she's never had a man that she could actually count on. And that's the truth. I've met 4 of her. Yeah, that's actually well put. We'll call them selections over the past, 30 some odd years. And 5, actually. Like I'm forgetting somebody. Yeah, her picker is broke. One of them I thought was okay, but as time went on, everyone involved realized that he was actually something of a bigot, which is a deal-breaking thing in our collective. So, a few off comments here and there, and the realization of, oh, you're racist, I didn't realize that. Well, that changes the dynamic a bit. I don't know that we can really be friends, actually. That's unfortunate. Because otherwise you seem like a decent fella. But that's kind of a bridge too far, So yeah, she is happy for Pix, for Kelly, but she's having, an existential crisis of the idea of, how are the two of you working together in this? That's not how this works. It can't be done, Dude, it's empty. Enough. Sammy, I can't even. So we were joking on the way back from visiting my dad about the fact that I'm special. So in honor of that, Six Flags choo-choo mug with the I'm special. I still wonder if that was, because I bought this off eBay, pretty much new. I don't know if it was done as a personal motivational thing, because you can get a monogrammed or once upon a time you could have mugs made with like your name on it and stuff at amusement parks. We got some at Busch Gardens when I was a kid that were like that. I think SeaWorld did it, and I don't know if Disney ever did it. I know they do the hats. I know they'll like do mouse ears with your name on it and stuff like that. Oh, oh yeah, yeah, that's the stuff. Again, not endorsed, not sponsored. Hmm. Damn, that's good coffee. See Dunkin' Donuts. Caramel Me Crazy. I think they're trying to play on the whole call me crazy. Caramel Me Crazy. I think that's what they're going for. Um, as wordplay jokes go, it's kind of clunky in my opinion, but you know, hey, I've only written a lot of wordplay jokes for years. It's clunky, right? Caramel Me Crazy. Caramel is doing some heavy lifting there to try and make that work. You know what I mean? It's, anyway, um, right? I agree with that. Not even sure which one of you that was, but thank you. Getting support from my hounds. So yeah, visited my dad. The car is nearly overheated coming back. We're going to need to put a new engine in. It's going to cost us like $4,000, so we're trying to limp it through for now. I'm not sure what my identity was visiting my dad. I don't know if I was his cousin or if I was his son, because his stories kept changing. So apparently 2 days ago, per his story, either his wife, which would be my mother, which may be my mom if he's talking to me as his son, or it could have been his mom, based on some things that he said, got a letter from the government, and they called him to let him know that the government was going to give him a vehicle of his choice. It was a list of like 8 different vehicles that were available, all the way up to a semi. The government was going to give him a semi-truck because he's still working for the government. And his mother, or my mother, or his wife, it kept changing. We heard this story like 7 times throughout the course of like 40 minutes of talking to him. It just, if you've dealt with people with dementia, the same story can repeat. So we heard variations of this like 7 times. They're going to give him either like a car or a semi, and he's qualified, he's allowed to drive it. But yeah, Mom called him 2 days ago to let him know that she had a letter saying that. And he's still confused as to why his mom hasn't dropped by to visit him. That much he did say. The timeline's all screwed up because his mom died in 1975. And he had met my mom by that point. I was 4 or 5 years old when that took place, depending on what time of year it was. It's probably 4. 'Cause I'm a December Capricorn. Um, so, I mean, only from like a Doctor Who standpoint would this conversation be okay with anyone, because he was confused why his mom hadn't dropped by, but he's talking to his 50-something-year-old son, and his wife called 2 days ago. It's all very wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff, if you get me. Mom died last year in May, just in case you don't know the context there. So if his wife called him 2 days ago and he doesn't know why his mom hasn't dropped by, what year is it? You know what I mean? Have we done Jim the Fish? Oh, that's good coffee. But yeah, we visited with him. His feet are very, very swollen, like edema, which is a little confusing, because he's on medications that should be preventing that. And we did flag the nurses and say, what's going on? And it was interesting, because they came rushing in and looked at his feet and took a picture and rushed back out of the room. It's like, okay, did we just cause a panic? Were we not supposed to see that? Or did you just realize that's happening, which y'all kind of throw him in the shower, like once a day, which means, naked dad, you can, unless you're letting him keep his slippers on in the shower, which would be, kind of weird, right? Kind of weird. Some big fuzzy house slippers, just wear those in the shower, it's fine. They're non-slip on the bottom, so it's fine, it's okay. The bunny ones are in the wash. So we're going to redouble our efforts to get him into a VA facility. So that was not what I was expecting to see. He's got a couple of toenails that are all kinds of terrifying too. Apparently, as part of basic nursing for, like, an assisted living, it's not part of the program just to trim the nails, like, once every couple weeks or something. To me, that's weird. I would think that would be part of, the pit crew package. But apparently that falls into podiatry, which they don't do. It's like, you guys are getting $6,000 a month to tend to the man. You can't trim his fucking toenails? Really? Weird. I don't know. It's confusing to me. Just from the standpoint of, shouldn't somebody have noticed this, and shouldn't somebody have taken care of this? Because, toenails don't start becoming talons, in a day. You gotta work at that. You know what I mean? I trim mine once every 2 weeks or so. Once a week if they get weird. Yeah. You guys are his nursing staff. You do things with him, to him, that I don't want to know about, because we're talking about my dad, and that's a little weird. No one noticed. And additionally, no one decided to bring it up. we have to, like, discover it. I took pictures, which, ew, but, you know, in case something comes of it. It's funny because Pix immediately went out to get a nurse, and I immediately started taking pictures. And she came back in the room, she's like, "You got pictures, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I took a few." She's like, "Okay, good." We didn't even say a damn word to each other. But, you know, hey, we've talked about this. But yeah, the nurse came in, a couple of nurses came in, and they went, and took a picture, and I understand they're taking the picture to send it out to get information or, you know, send it to the doctor or whatnot, who apparently just saw my dad yesterday. You hear stuff about nursing homes and whatnot, right? How are we, who come and visit him, you know, once every few weeks or what have you, how are we showing you things that are wrong that you don't notice, being that he's there all day, every day? You're kidding, right? You didn't know this was happening. You know what I mean? Brings to mind the age-old question, are you incompetent or are you lying? It's kind of a trap because either answer's bad. Either one's bad. But it's got to be one of the two, right? Pretty much. Don't you think? It's pretty much got to be an either or. Since that kind of stuff can't happen in 5 minutes, you know. I don't know that there's a third possibility. I think it must be one of those two. Possibly uncaring, that would kind of fall into the incompetent, if for no other reason. Maybe you shouldn't do nursing. You know what I mean? Maybe something else. Something that doesn't require follow through and compassion. I don't know. Maybe some other field. I'm a little annoyed about that, you know. Being that, you know, my dad, probably allowed to be, right? It was nasty. What do you do with the damn thing? Hey, Doodle. Suddenly, a cat. Trying to find a table that I located yesterday that I think is going to be fabulous. And I don't know where I put it. I thought I put it there. Maybe I didn't. It went away. I hate that. My Dad would insist the burglar took it. Oh, and he has a burglar at the facility. All right, so he's been saving. They serve some of the food. Oh, it's buried at the bottom of this thing. This is some of my stuff that's going to go in the library, or that I'm considering putting in the library. So, he's been saving, they like get pudding cups and stuff like that, and they're in those little round plastic cups, right? They just get thrown away afterwards. It's not something that they rinse, reuse. My dad has been smuggling them into his room, rinsing them out, and storing them in his closet. And according to him, he's probably accurate-ish, he had like 300 of them. And when he gets home, I don't want to tell him, he's going to use them as seed starters. Which, number one, yes, that's always a great idea. Because sometimes those little, like, yogurt containers and whatnot, they are fabulous seed containers if you're doing, like, gardening. You know, a little bit of soil, drop a seed in there, water it, and you suddenly have a whole bunch of little planters. They're great. I've thrown away several thousand that were here, to be clear. Tapioca containers, yogurt, dear God in heaven. Because, and we've talked about this, at a certain point, stop saving them. You're good. You're good. You don't need 5 plastic totes worth of napkins that you've smuggled out 2 or 3 at a time from restaurants. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. And at a certain point, you don't want to use them because they get kind of gross. The plastic containers, I get it. Kind of. Number one, you're not coming home. Exactly. Again, I don't want to be the one to tell him that because I don't want to be the one to tell him that. If the hope that he's going to go home at some point keeps him up, cool, you know. But you know, in point of fact, if nothing else, the court won't allow it because he needs 24/7 nursing and management. This is where his story ends. It's just the truth of it. So he had been saving them. 300 of them. Which, probably at least 200, right? It's been there for a year. Yeah. Yeah, he's managed to squeak 200 plus, maybe 300 out. I believe it. And he had showed us his stacks of them a couple of months ago. And he did. He had stacks. It's like Pringles, you know. So 300? Yeah, okay. I believe that is probable. Apparently someone came in his room and took them. To which I say, and I didn't say this to him, but I'm like, well, if you didn't rinse them really well, they probably were starting to smell. And also, you're still hoarding. You're still hoarding. My God. My God, you're in assisted living and you're still attempting to hoard. Why? I'm still wondering if we're going to find that broken toilet seat around here somewhere. I know I am. I know I'm going to come across it at some point. So when we were trying to help them in 23, toilet seat, one of the bathrooms was broken, like cracked down the middle. Still kind of hanging on, you know. Sometimes, you know, people, and I've done it before, you know, you throw some duct tape on there, you know. And here's the thing, my parents don't need to do that. They financially, they did not need to hang on to a broken toilet seat. But anyway, one of the DCF people came in and wanted to use the bathroom. And I don't know whether or not she needed to use the bathroom or if she just wanted to go into the bathroom with the door closed so that she could poke around. Because they do these things. So because I was trying to protect my parents, I could see the investigative wheels turning. And I know a thing or two about investigations and or the hustle. I've said this before, just from a perspective standpoint. The TV show Leverage, I'm a huge fan of it. I'm just going to put it this way. It gets me nostalgic. The things I did in my youth. So I see the games that are being played. I see the games that are being played. And for reference, I'm something in between a Sophie and an Elliot. I don't know how to pick locks, but I can usually charm my way through the door. And I can be 12 different people in an hour. Drunk. Anyway. So, needs to use the bathroom. It's in there a couple minutes. You know, normal, I mix greeting time. And it could just been, let's look in the glove box, let's look under the hood, you know. So after they leave, I tell Mom, I need to replace that toilet seat. And she's like, why? And I'm like, because it's cracked. And she's like, it works fine. And it's like, you understand the DCF agent went in there and, you know, used the bathroom. She's like, okay. I'm like, do you think she used the bathroom or do you think she was poking around in there? And do you think that would go in a report as an unsafe condition? Potentially. And my mom still had enough faculties to actually go, oh, I see what you're getting at. Get a replacement. Like, yes, ma'am. You hired me to watch your back. That's already in their report. If we replace it, if they bring it up, we can say, yeah, we noticed it was cracked and we got a new one. And they're going to make a note in their report of replaced broken toilet seat. Okay. So I get one here. I think I ordered one through Walmart or Amazon, whatnot. Next day, bam, gets here. I replace it. And it's heavy duty, and it's even... This I thought was funny, and it was actually cheaper than the other ones, which surprised me. So it's heavy duty, and it also I don't know that it's the one that's still on there. I don't think it is. I think my parents replaced it because, sure, why not? But it's glow in the dark. It's made of that like white action figure type material. If you've ever seen like white action figures that have that like slate green luminescent glow in the dark thing going on, it had that going on. And I put that on, and she's like, okay, that's a little weird, and I don't know that it's necessary. I'm like, number one, it was cheaper. I'm trying to be, budget-wise. And she's like, I appreciate that. My mom's a triple Capricorn, so I'm a double Capricorn. We're very much what does it cost? Is it functional? We always saw eye to eye on most things. Most. Few things worlds apart. But on this one, I'm like, it was actually cheaper than some of the other ones. And consider this, Mom. And she's like, what are you up to? I'm like, you're old. And she's like, thanks. I'm like, yeah, but no. It's glow in the dark. It's a safety feature made to help people that can't see well find the toilet seat in the dark or in darker conditions. And she's like, so you installed something that even has a safety feature to make DCF? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, very good. I'm like, thank you. So anyway, I did what seemed like the right thing to do, and I threw the other toilet seat away. I put it in the trash can out front. Closed the lid. It's one of the big plastic hoppers, An hour later, I see my dad walking in the gate from the backyard, whatnot, with the broken toilet seat. And I'm like, Mom, what is he doing? And she's like, I don't know. She calls him. She's like, Fred, what are you doing? And he's like, this toilet seat's still good. Somebody threw it out. And that was in 2023. Yep. My mom was like, Fred, it's broken. She's like, and my dad's like, no, I can fix that. I started to say something, and my mom was just like, just let it go. Just let it go. To which I responded, that's the kind of stuff that I'm going to get stuck dealing with. I haven't found it yet, but it's here somewhere. Mind you, I'm not looking for the broken toilet seat. It's not like, man, I gotta have it. I gotta have that broken toilet seat. It's just kind of one of those back of my mind, I'm gonna find a fucking broken toilet seat around here somewhere. And the second I do, I'll know what it is. Obviously I'll know it's a broken toilet seat, but I'll know its story. And I don't even have retropsychometry. But I'll know its story. I'll know why it's here and where it came from. She's gonna fall off the stool. Ooh, good save. Thought for sure I was going to catch some Wild World of Sports right there. But anyway, yeah, digging around, sorting whatnot, came across this. Google lensed it. God, Google Lens is so freaking cool. This is from what was it? 1977? Yep. 1977 Fisher-Price Dollhouse kitchen dinette table. Now I don't like the yellowing that's going on there. I'm actually going to go over this part with a nice glossy white. I'm going to prime it just like I would the other stuff. The tabletop is actually a beautiful color. It's kind of like a sunflower yellow orange going on there. I love it. What I am going to do is I'm going to do all the other bits in the white, and then when I do the top coat, I'm probably going to seal the top as well with the top coat, just to seal in that beautiful, beautiful goodness. And this is going to go in my library as a kids table. Beautiful, beautiful little piece. It's a good height. That's about 1.5 inches tall. For perspective, come here, you. This is my C-3PO prototype. Inch and a half, 2 inches tall, probably. Great height. Lots of room around the base for chairs and whatnot, so it's not like really cramped. Nice wide surface to work with there. You can see that in a children's section of a library, right? Nice non-offensive yellow orange up top there, vibrant, fun color. I've actually got some feelers out on the Bay of E to see if I can find any more of these. They're pricing at in between like $8 and $30 each. There's some people that have them up for like $20 with $10 shipping, which is kind of extortive. But there are other people that have them up for like $5 with $5 shipping. I got one that has $9 shipping included. If I can get a little bit of cash, I may grab that. Just because, as an all-purpose furniture piece, I wouldn't mind having a few of these on hand. It's really good. And the old Fisher-Price stuff, durable stuff. Back when toys were made to last. But yeah, I saw on here Hong Kong F-P Toys, and I was like, oh, it's Fisher-Price. Yep, from the 1977 Dollhouse Kitchen Dinette Table. I want a couple more of these, but one of them is going to go in my library, and I'm very happy. So I was trying to figure out, I've got some little chairs and whatnot, and I was like, God, I need a good table for them to go around. I have a couple of candidates, but the chairs were too tall, or the table itself was kind of small, or just general not working out well kind of things. This, perfect. But I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Health check. I'm congested. I can hear it in my voice, a little scratchy. But otherwise, I feel pretty good. We've got a couple more errands to run today. We only did visited my dad, and then like a couple of related things. Everything kind of got weird with his foot and all that, so. That has a nice wide enough base to where it's not unstable. It looks like it should be unstable. The way it's weighted, it's actually pretty decent. But again, talking 70s Fisher-Price. Really good toy design. Really good toy design. Yes, I'm kind of a Mr. Megorium in certain respects. But yeah, you start talking about 1970s and even 80s Fisher-Price stuff. Top shelf. Top shelf. Made to last. Good quality. Smart. Good toys. True story. What? I know I'm weird. Anyway. So, I'm going to sign off. Hug your parents. Check their feet. Hug your kids. Check their feet too. You know, why not? Make it a whole foot thing. Yeah. Don't get weird though. Yeah. Make it a great day.